What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, Twitch? Welcome back to JD Plays Project Ozone 2. And I've got some new trees. I added in the jungle tree from an exotic seed, and we also added in the spruce tree that we got from sifting dirt. Last time we got our coke oven up and running, and I've done a few changes. I'm starting to kind of get things packed away and move downstairs from the top. I've expanded the foundry, smeltery, whatever, and I've begun condensing all of my ores, which I'll show you that downstairs. Still got a whole bunch of obsidian sitting up here. Very nice, very nice. Still farming my trees from up here. I've got a few things pointed out on the to-do list, as you can see right over here on the right. This is what we're going to try to get done today. I've had to actually record this episode multiple times, and it's been stressful, to say the least. In fact, there are so many worlds. Yep. Need to remove that one. There are so many worlds in this pack that I don't even know what to do. That's kind of crazy. Anyways, I'll mess with that in a little while. Alright, so first thing I want to talk about is some Agricraft stuff. So when I left you guys last time, I just got Agricraft started. I'm going to show you guys real quick, and I mean real quick, how I do my plant breeding. So what happens usually when we're doing Agricraft, and if you notice, I've gotten these up to 10, 10, 10 on all of my raspberries. So if I were to harvest this group of plants right now, I would get back 36 raspberries, which I could then turn into these raspberry smoothies. Very cheap, good food. It's going to last me a long time. So right now I've gotten my hemp up to a 975. So if I set this down in between them, it's going to attempt to grow a new hemp for me. And once it does, we'll be able to check the seeds from that and see, you know, where we're sitting. But just to kind of, while we're waiting on that, we'll go ahead and harvest this real quick. And each one of these plants, because it's a 10, 10, 10, now gives off 4 of their fruits. We take those and combine those with these bad mamma jammas. And we will make ourselves some fruit smoothies. So we don't have to worry about food for a considerable amount of time thanks to that. And it's very, you know, very worth the effort put in to get to a point where you can grow things like this. You know, I've still got more berries sitting right in here if I wanted to even make more than that. So that's nice. A loot bag. What's in this loot bag? Let's see. A book, some crystal, nether wart. Heck yeah, that's a huge gain. That's awesome that we got that without having to go to the nether. What's in this one? I don't remember. A bucket. I'll take that bucket. And some ender pearl dust and some redstone. Oh, okay, cool. The bucket is useful right now. The rest is better off staying in that bag for the moment. All right, let's go see if we grew anything yet. There we go. We got our seedling to grow. Now, as soon as it grows, you don't need to wait for it to get larger or anything else. The second it grows, step over here, throw it in the seed analyzer, and let's take a look. 975. I don't think, yeah, that's not any good to me. So immediately what I'm going to do is put it back down and let it grow again. We're not going to hang around and wait for that. We're going to move on to other things while that's going on. We'll try to check back on that before the episode ends. But that's it for Agricraft. It's pretty straightforward. I'm going to dive you know, a lot deeper into that later. But that's how you can go about starting to get your plants up from these base plants, you know, level 1 seeds up to 10, 10, 10s and producing a lot of things. And I really do want these to produce a lot of things because, like, right now, this is producing 3 string each. Or 3 hemp each. And with hemp, if I have 3 of them and I put them like right here, I get string back. That's gonna, you know, that's very useful to me for making other things. So the first thing on the list that I want to make is a turtle. We've made a turtle in the past. It takes 7 iron ingots around a computer and a chest to make a turtle. If you don't remember how to make a computer, it's simply 7 stone around a piece of redstone and a glass pane. Very easy. If you don't remember the glass pane, it's just 6 pieces of glass. Okay. We'll backspace back. Let's get our turtle out. I'm not going to do anything with the turtle right this moment. I'm going to use him for platform building again. So since that is the case, I'm going to go ahead and set a label on him of Mario because he is my platformer. And we'll get back to work with him later. So that gets step 1 done on the to-do list. We'll knock that off right quick. Whoop. That takes us to the cache and strong box. Now these are both from the thermal expansion mod pack, which is what I'm looking at right now. So you have a standard cache, which will hold 10,000 units of a single item. This can be upgraded to a hardened cache, which holds 40,000, a reinforced cache, 160,000, or a resonant cache, 640,000. The recipes are very straightforward. 10 around a log to get the standard. You can upgrade the standard to a hardened by taking the standard and putting Ingvar around it, or you can take the original recipe with 10 and add Ingvar to it and go straight to a hardened cache. The next upgrade, which is reinforced, takes hardened aluminum glass, fused quartz, or hardened glass to make, which will be a little bit before we can get to those. And then the final takes Enderium ingots to get up to the resonant version. These strong boxes work the same way. You start off with 10 and a treasure chest. The next level takes either Ingvar or the original recipe plus Ingvar, and that will get you to a hardened. Then we get to reinforced, and then we get to a resonant last. So we're going to start off by making the cache, and I'm actually going to upgrade this directly to the hardened. So we're going to go ahead and put the 4 around it, and I'm going to be doing this for every recipe. So I'm just going to go ahead and put 3 Ingvar around each one as well. So there's me a hardened cache. I'm going to toss this in here, and we're going to get out a strong box. And for the other strong box, I'm actually going to show you a standard strong box versus a hardened. So standard strong box versus hardened is very simple. 2 rows of inventory versus 4 rows of inventory. What makes these special? Why do I want them? Well, what makes them special is that I can put inventory in one of these, pick it up, and the inventory doesn't fall out. It's still in there. This allows me to basically expand my inventory very easily. And these will get very, very powerful the later we get into the game, and I'll show you why. All right, so the reason I want the cache is because we've got kind of an outdated mining system, and really this was not really the best system to build from the beginning of the game anyways, but I built it, you know, I did it. And so we're going to go back now and we're going to kind of correct the derpiness on my part and make a better cobblegen system. Now I knew about this, I'm not going to lie. I chose to do it differently because I wanted to show other ways of doing things, because if everybody does everything the same exact way, what's the fun of the mod packs, right? Variety is a very fun part of it. So we're going to get rid of the block breaker and the chest that it was feeding into, and we're going to replace that with this cache. Now the cache is blank and empty and nothing's in it right now. But what we can do is we can take this transfer node, which we made the other day, and hook it up on top of the cobble, and then take a transfer pipe right here and hook it up, not that direction, but this direction, to the cache. Now nothing is happening currently. That's because as it stands right now, the item transfer node, has no way to interact with what's below it. But if we add a world interaction upgrade, now it can start pulling cobble out. So it is literally pulling cobble out of this cobble generator and storing it directly in here. And this bad mamma jamma right here can hold up to 40k cobble. That's a lot of cobble. We're going to be doing pretty good with that. So caches and strong boxes are done. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that other strong box right quick and get that out of the way. So this one right here, we're just going to pick him up using a wrench. Step right over here, put it in, put the Ingvar on it, and now you see me do the recipe both directions. So those we can throw things into that we want to carry around with us, and that's going to help me to expand my inventory for the future. Now the next thing I want to look at is a lava generator. And for a lava generator, we're going to need a couple of things. First thing we're going to need is all this hemp that we've been storing up, we needed it to make this hemp rope. And then once we had the hemp rope, we need some copper, and we're going to need a few other things. We're going to need some iron. I've got some of that back over there. So let's grab some copper. We're going to need some platinum, which is these shiny ingots. And I've got all kinds of ingots because I basically got all my ore set up and started smelting everything down and getting it all in the ingot format so that as we need things to build with, I have it available to me. So with this copper around this right here, we can just come up and across, and that's going to give us 4 of these copper coils. I'm not going to use the rest of this for right now. Now, our goal is to build this lava generator. But to build a lava generator, we're going to need a survivalist generator. Survivalist generator is what took these. It also takes these red alloy ingots and a piston. Don't get confused about the red alloy ingots versus standard red alloy, because those are 2 different things. Now to make a piston, we're going to need some of those red alloy ingots. What have I done with them? I think I put them over here actually. There we go. And that's red alloy. Red alloy ingot is what we want. See, I'm already tricking myself. All right, so I think with that done, we have enough to go straight to the piston now, right? Yes. So let's make a couple of pistons because I'm going to use those for other things. And then let's do, I don't know, this. It'll clear it out for me. So from there, the next thing we want to make is we want to make one of these. Okay, no problem. Let's actually make a couple of those. Okay, and then from there, we want to make one of these. No problem, make one of those. That gives me an achievement, by the way, and I think that's part of a quest. So the next thing we should be able to make now is the final product. There we go, we've got a survivalist engine ready to go. Now, survivalist engine works just like a furnace engine. You put coal in it, it puts out RF. The difference is it burns the coal very slowly and it only puts out 5 RF per tick. You really want to use the furnace generator over the survivalist. But now we want to do the next step, right? We want to get this guy, but we're lacking something. We're lacking gold. Right here we got a little bit of gold. Let's steal this gold. Okay. And from here we want to do this with this. Oh, we're still missing something. What are we missing? Block. We need an iron block right here. Bam. And as you can see, we're completing quests as we go. We're getting back on the quest line. And I do intend to actually start taking the quest lines a little more seriously soon. So with the lava generator, what is the good? Why do we want it? Well, the lava generator is a very fantastical item in that we can take some fluid conduit, hook it up to this lava generator right here that we all know and love. And I can put, let's say I put it, I don't know. We'll put it right here for now, just for fun. So take this, take that there, and put that there, and there we go, we're hooked up. So nothing's happening yet, no big deal. We come over here, we set this to extract, we turn it off of redstone, lava gets pulled out, this engine starts running, and lo and behold, we're producing 40 RF a tick. That is super sexy. So we now have made our first lava generator. But right now, that RF is not doing a whole lot, and that generator is not going to run for very long, especially for how much lava we can produce, as we've already seen. This is already full. So as soon as this fills up, it's going to stop operating. So the next thing on the docket that I would like to do is we're going to skip down to number 6 and do RF power storage. And the way that we're going to do that is, if you look, there are several different choices. You can go into thermal expansion, and there are these energy cells. So you could go after making a leadstone energy cell. I don't think it's going to work out too well early game. This one will store, how much does this leadstone store? This guy will hold 400k RF. It's not bad, it's a pretty good amount. There are other areas that we can store RF in as well, but the real place that we're going to start off is in immersive engineering. Immersive engineering allows us to craft low V capacitors that store up to 100,000 RF very cheaply, MV capacitors that store up to 1 million RF, all the way up to HV capacitors, which store up to 4 million RF. Now these guys need steel, and I've shown you a way to make steel. I wasn't going to really mess with that any further, but I'm considering that I might, because it really is worth it. So I have to think about this for just a second. What does it take to make these? It takes 2 string to make each of these. And if I want to make the leather pants, I need 8. So yeah, I can do it, I think. So we take these and we go around, and that gives us some leather pants, right? And by the way, the majority of that was just made using hemp, which we can grow now. Keep that in mind. And then a bit of iron around these, and that gets us pants, right? And so what we want to do is we want to take the pants and throw them in here and let them melt down. That's going to melt down into steel, and if you remember, we've got 1 steel ingot already sitting in here from our last time, because this is going to actually produce for me 2 steel. So while we're waiting on that, let's go produce some other things. Let's take this bucket right here. Excuse me, I just had a little hiccup there. And we're going to need something called treated wood to be able to make this, any one of these. So if I wanted the MV, treated wood planks. If I want the HV, treated wood planks. So what we need to get treated wood comes from this coke engine, or coke oven that we made last time. As we cook coal, creosote is produced. We can use either glass bottles or buckets or whatever, and we can get buckets of creosote. So there's 2 buckets of creosote. If we take this creosote and we head back downstairs and we throw the bucket in here and we surround the bucket with some wooden planks, we'll get 8 treated wood. So now we've got some treated wood to work with. Okay, let's clear this out. Now what all do we need to make this HV cap? We need some steel, we need some aluminum, we need a block of redstone, and we need a lead block. Okay, I think we can probably pull that off. Let's hold them up on the lead processing. Let's move steel up. Okay, and then let's do, let me see something. That's fine, we'll do it that way. How many do we have here? 16? Okay, so we're going to click here, So we're going to quickly tap this, and that's going to get me my lead block. Now there should be redstone somewhere right there. We just need 9 of it. So we'll run this around like so. That'll give me a redstone block. Need this and this. Cool. Now as soon as the lead is done turning into ingots, it's gonna pour my 2 steel ingots for me. That's gonna be nice. Here's our lead block, so we need our aluminum. So right here, there's 2 aluminum for me. Take our aluminum, put it to either side. So all we're waiting on is some steel real quick. Is it pouring yet? It's about to pour as soon as that pipe empties. So that's gonna get me to RF power storage. Now along with RF power storage, we're gonna want a way to get that power out. And that's where we're gonna start using these MB. Do I wanna use MB? Yeah. So we're gonna need a little hardened clay. I've got some on me. All that is a clay block that you've cooked in a furnace. So recipe. Smelt some clay, no big deal. And if you don't know how to get those, just combine 4 clay balls. Okay, we're gonna need that, and we're gonna need a little bit of iron, which I've got on me already actually. Let's put these in the corner like so. Run them up to center, and that gives me 8 of these MV wire connectors. And I'll show you how we're gonna use those in just a minute. So the steel is done. There's our 3 steel. And then we're also gonna need a bit of electrum. Okay, so I'm gonna pull some electrum out here. So let's put these across the top, and that's gonna get us to our HV capacitor. This thing, like I said, 4 million RF storage. That's freaking nice. If we take a little electrum and put it around a stick, it's going to give us some MV wire coil. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come over here and we're going to look at this thing for a second. I'm going to set it up here on the roof, and I'm going to show. I'll explain why in just a second. So we take the engineer hammer. You see how this side is orange? Orange means that it's an output. Blue means it's an input. And we can change it simply by tapping it with the hammer. So I'm going to set this to blue. I want the bottom to blue on purpose. And before I move this, I'm going to grab this furnace generator off the wall. I'm going to set this guy down right here. Okay. I'm going to pull down this battery, this capacitor. I'm going to set it down over here now where I can adjust the rest of the sides. We know the bottom is blue. So the way I want to set this up, we need to kind of preset what the sides you're going to do. I know I'm going to set this side to blue and this side to blue. And then I think I'm going to set the top to orange as my output for right now. Okay. So now let's pick it up. Let's set this down on top of this. And we can see that the power is already pouring in. This generator is dumping its power. This generator already dumped its power. So if I were to give this guy some more power, like say some coal coke, which we're going to talk about coal coke real quick. Coal coke, so you charcoal, 1600 per tick. Coal coke, 3200 per tick. But here's the trick. If we take charcoal and turn it into a block of charcoal, we only get 14,400, which is the same as doing 9 individual charcoal. There's no gain there. If we take coal, which does 1600, and we make it into a block, lo and behold, it does 16,000, meaning we gained a piece of coal by doing it that way. The same thing holds true for coal coke. If we make 9 of them into a block, we get the value of 10. So it's worth putting coal coke as well as coal into blocks if you're going to use it as a fuel source to burn. If we put this inside of a furnace generator, it's going to burn for 10 minutes. That's not a small amount of time. So between the lava and the coal coke, we're going to have a way to seriously start pushing power into this capacitor. But now we need a way to get the power out of the capacitor. And that's a very simple process as well. We have a couple of options. One option is to take whatever machine that we want to put power into and set it directly beside the capacitor and turn on power output to that side. So let's say we set it up like that. We could take this automated hammer, we could put it right here, and it would power it up if it were low on power. It's not right now, so we don't have to worry about that. The other way, and I'm not going to leave that there, by the way. I'll put it over here. The other way we can do it is by using these MV connectors. So if I set an MV connector here, and one here, and let's say one here, I can take these wires and run wires from one to the next, and this is now powering this, even if it wasn't touching. And I can do this one to this one. So this now has power off of this capacitor, as does this. And I can continue to power additional machines for as long as I have enough cable and as long as I have enough capacitors, or I'm sorry, connectors. So there we go. We're able to run power now. We're able to store power now. That's pretty awesome. Pretty stoked about that. Now the next thing that we want to work on is we need to get a blast furnace going, and I want to work on automating my mob farm. We're going to do the mob farm portion of it first. I think that's going to be, fairly straightforward and simple. So what we want to do to automate our mob farm is we want to get some spikes going on. There are different values of spikes, and they do different things. Wooden spikes will take a mob down to 1 HP, but it will not kill it. Iron spikes will kill it, but you will not get any experience from the kill. Diamond spikes, I forget exactly what they do. I'll be honest there with the gold spikes. Diamond spikes I know will yield experience. So if you build using diamond spikes, you will get experience for killing the mob. So keep that in mind depending on what spikes you want to put down. So what I want to do is I want to make a few wooden swords to start off. So we're going to put these in here. We're going to make 1, 2, 3 wooden swords. Okay. Once we have some wooden swords made, we can look at the wooden picks or wooden spikes, and we can see this is the recipe for it. So let's get some of this, and there we go. And then let's shift click, and then we'll get 4 wooden spikes. Now from there we want to go to iron, but to get to iron we need these upright spikes, and the upright spikes are going to take stone swords. So let's get some stone swords made. No big deal. We'll make 3 of them again. 1, 2, and 3. Shift click again, and we will get 4 wooden or upright spikes. So right here, we're ready to go onto metal, but we're going to need iron blocks. I think the iron blocks are back here. We're just going to need 1. So there we go. And we're also going to need iron swords. So we've got some iron ingots right here and right here. Probably going to need a few more sticks. I only see 1. So that should be enough right there. Oop. And then split those, pull out our 3 swords. Beautiful. And now we should be good to go ahead and make 4 spikes. Perfect. Okay, so now we've got our way that we're going to kill our monsters. We need something that gets them to the way we're going to kill our monsters. That's going to come from a very simple recipe. We take a cobblestone slab, a piece of fence, and an iron ingot, and we're going to get some fans. We're going to make 4 fans. Put our slabs back. Now, to use fans, we're going to need levers. I've got 1 on me. We're going to need a couple more. And that's just cobblestone combined with sticks to get us levers. Okay. So let me think about it for a second. We've got our spikes. We've got our levers. I think we're pretty good to go over there and go ahead and get this set up right quick. So let's go check that out. Do I need anything else before I leave? No, probably not. But let's go ahead and drop this off. Oh, yes, actually, there is something else I need. All right, so we've got a way to kill the mobs. We've got a way to get the mobs to where we're going to kill them, but we don't have a way to really collect the loot. That's where these little lovely ender pearls come in that I've been waiting so long to get. We're going to make 1, 2 of these. Set this to the side. Then we're going to need to make 2 of these. Beautiful. And then if we take hoppers with Eye of Ender and 2 pieces of obsidian, we will get vacuum hoppers. Very fancy little device. Okay. So with that being done, now I think we're actually finally ready. Let's head over here to the mob farm for just a minute. Somehow, I think because of the snow, a mob has spawned on top of the building. That was awkward. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to come right to the middle of the building. Which is roughly about right here, we'll say. Okay. Let's break the stone that's above our head for a moment so we can get a good view all the way in. Let's put down our bricks right here, and let's get our spikes. So 1 spike here, 1 spike here. 1 spike here, 1 spike here. Alright. Now, let's check F7. Everything's still dark. We're good. Beautiful. Okay. Let's punch a hole directly under those. Right there. And let's set down a standard chest on the other side. Beautiful. And on that standard chest, let's attach an item node. That's too far away. I screwed up. I put it too far back. All right, let's try this again. So chest, and we'll go ahead and hook up our vacuum hopper this time real quick. So we hook a vacuum hopper up, then we spin around to the side we want to attach it to the chest. Click there. I screwed up. It's there. So now what happens is anytime an item drops here, like this piece of lapis, that sucks it up and sticks it in here. Okay? But I don't want to have to walk around this thing every time to be able to get that loot, so I will attach this transfer node. And then we'll get a bigger chest right here in the front that will suck into. And we'll do the same thing and add a vacuum hopper right here that will pull things into this chest. So all that's left now is we need to get our fans in place, right? And we're going to put our fan, one right here, and we'll just put the fan up. And I'm going to kind of angle it like so. Should still have a devastating enough effect. And hopefully we'll push more of the loot off this direction. And then we'll do the other fan right here. And kind of the same thing, we want it to be angled to help with loot. We'll turn that guy on. That guy's on and that guy's on. Now we can still get past these if we need to. But let's go ahead and add in one more little kind of make sure that we're trying to lose as little loot as possible here. We'll get another one here. Turn that one on. And then we'll come straight across and do our last fan. And let's do it here. And we'll point this one in as well, slightly. Put a switch on it, and there we go. So now all of my fans are running. My loot boxes are ready. We just need to go away and leave this alone. So let's run away. And our farm is now automated. There was no loot in those chests. We'll go back and check on those in a minute. Now, the only things that are left right now are the fact that I would like to make a blast furnace. It's very important. We're going to need one. And to go into the nether. And those two kind of things are kind of connected. If we look at a blast furnace, and we need blast furnaces to make steel in mass. But we're going to need these blast bricks. So we know how to get regular brick. And we already can get blaze powder. We already have quite a bit of it, actually. The problem becomes the nether brick. And to get nether brick, we need to be able to get netherrack. That means going to the nether. But if you didn't want to use the way that I used steel, to get steel, using the chainmail legs, you have another option. So we can take some redstone, and we can take some fluid conduit, and set up another crucible for lava production. And we can hook that up to a stone barrel, just like we did before whenever I was producing massive amounts of obsidian. And this time, instead of putting water on, if we were to put redstone on it, it will become netherrack. And because I have a hopper at the bottom that's going straight into this chest, and I'm able to sit here and produce netherrack at will. As long as lava exists, I can produce netherrack. Now what I could do to buffer this is add a tank between these two things and let that tank be consistently filling up, and then I can just come by when I need to and pick up some netherrack. But right here we've got 9 netherrack ready to go. So once we get the netherrack, we can step over here, set all of it but one in down here, throw us a piece of coal in. Actually, we won't even use a piece of coal. We'll just use some wood. That works for me for now. I'll check on that in a minute. Now, with this last piece of netherrack, I would like to show you something else. So if we take that, outside of cooking it into nether brick, we can also smash it, right, with a hammer. And it becomes crushed netherrack. Now let's look at what that gives us. Crushed netherrack gives us a 10% chance at nickel ore, 6% zinc ore, 1% ardite, 6% tungsten, 3% iron, a 10% at rubies or sapphires or peridot, 1% of cobalt, 10% of copper, and 6% of titanium. But here's the kicker. 100% chance to produce gold. If we break down netherrack, we have a great supply of gold incoming. And just to prove that, we'll step over here. We'll toss this bad mamma jamma in here. There's our netherrack, and it gave us a copper ore and a golden ore. And it will give us a golden ore literally every single time. So what I want to do now is I want to drop off most of my belongings. We're going to go ahead and journey into the nether, but I've shown you can make a blast furnace without ever entering the nether. That is a doable thing for anyone now. And what I want to do in the nether is I want to get a basic forward base set up, okay? But there are dangers associated with this, obviously. Now, do we have... No, we do not. Pressure. They do have obsidian pressure plates. I wonder if these are the ones that will keep mobs from being able to press them. I don't know. But what I do know is they have carpenter's garage doors. All right. So these stairs right here, these ramps are made from carpenter's blocks, okay? I did that in an episode that I ended up deleting. I'm going to show you guys how to make these carpenter blocks right now and some of the uses of them. So we get 4 blocks from this recipe. Let's get some sticks. Let's take the wood, go around it. There we go. Let's make these. If we take these and put them in a circle, we're going to get these garage doors, okay? And there's a couple of other recipes we can do with these that are very nice. So the way you get the sloped ones that I'm using right there is you put 3 of them like so, and then 3 of these, and that gives you these sloped wedge slopes, okay? What I want to make is a couple of carpenter's pressure plates real quick. And then I also would like to make a carpenter's hammer, because it's important to have this tool when you're doing certain things with carpenter blocks. So there's a carpenter's hammer. All right. Now let's take this and let's head over to our nether portal for a moment. And that's good. We will come back and check on some of this other stuff in the next episode, because I'm about out of time. We're at 32 minutes. I've had the last couple of episodes go for, you know, roughly an hour. I would like to keep from that occurring again. So what we want to do here is we need to kind of get this ground built up a little bit better, a little more realistic for what we want to do. And in all honesty, let's see, is this working? Look at this. The mob farm has already gotten us a legendary bag, an uncommon, some glass bottles, some zombie flesh. It's already working. Yay for the mob farm. We're gonna go grab some cobble real quick to be able to make what we're about to make. This guy's already produced me 4,000 cobble since I put it down. Oh, and by the way, if you want to grab a whole stack, shift left click and it'll give you an entire stack of cobble. Benchy schmenchy. All right, so cobble. We're actually going to go cobble again. And let's do cobble again right here. And one more time. You'll understand why I'm doing this in just a second. Okay, let's vein miner the dirt away. Give me my dirt. It doesn't want to give me my dirt, dirty bastard. It teleported my dirt away from me. I am angry. Just kidding. Alright, so let's put this up like so. Don't need this little guy anymore. And we're going to go ahead and extend it out one more. So what we want to do is we want to put down a carpenter plate here and here. I'm going to make these out of obsidian. And if I shift right click these with the hammer, I'm sorry, if I right click these with the hammer, they will only activate for animals, activate for all entities, only activate for players. I want them to only activate for players. I do not want mobs to be able to come in and out of this. Now I screwed up and placed a piece of obsidian here, so I've got to take a moment and break it. My bad. There we go. All right, so that's where these guys come in now, right? With these, and I'm actually gonna, I think I'll be okay to put them right here. We're gonna put one there. We're gonna put one there. And then we're going to right click these, and look, it changes the pattern on them. Okay, so we can make this several different patterns. The pattern I'm going to use is this one, and then we can, oh, I did it again. Oh, I did it again. We can cover them as we need to with whatever texture we want. That's the advantage of carpenter blocks, is it lets you create things using the texture you want. So now if we step on this, it'll open right up. But what about from the other side? Well, we can also right click it if we want. We can open that, mobs cannot. So nothing can enter here without our permission, and that's kind of what we were aiming for. Because we don't want zombie pigmen walking into our world. You know, we don't want those guys to come out and just infest our entire platform where we've got our mob trap. All right, so welcome to our nether. Now, our nether has stuck me underground, right next to some lapis ore. Very cool. First thing we want to do, anytime we get into the nether, hit B. Actually, let's stand right here and do it. Hit B, make a waypoint, call it exit. Make sure it's a color you can easily identify. We're kind of high up in the air. We're at a Y of 103 right now. But now we have a marker that shows where our exit is. What I am going to do now is I'm going to kind of lay myself an area of obsidian. And really, this is actually a pretty safe spot. I don't have to be as concerned as previous incarnations of where it spawned me into. So that's pretty cool. The place that it spawned me into the first time I made this episode, because I've had to make it 3 times, was not so good. Alright, so I want to keep as many things as possible from coming into my world. We're going to obsidian up the back end. Beautiful. And then we will come out. I just screwed up again because I'm glorious. And I'm widening the room on purpose just to give us a little bit, you know, of an area to operate out of. And then I'll collapse it right here. Because we don't need a big room, we just need some room. And once again, put a garage door down. Tap it with a hammer. And now we can go in and out as we need to. And our base is marked. Awesome. And now we have the ability. Now you'll remember I made this out of alumite for a reason. And I also put silk touch on it for a reason. At the time that reason was to get leaves, but it's also because in most of these mod packs, when you get into the nether and you start mining nether ores, the ores tend to explode on you. But with silk touch, that does not tend to be the case. So I can now safely mine all these various ores that we have in the nether kind of without concern, other than I need to pay attention to if any zombie pigmen are around. Because if zombie pigmen are around, they're going to want to eat my body. And I don't really want that to happen. But I can also come in here now and get tons of netherrack for sieving to get gold, as well as other resources. Here's some magnesium. And vein miner does work in here, by the way, as you can see right there. So if I really wanted to go kind of nuts, I could come back here and say, oh, here, vein mine that. Now that destroyed my pick almost, but it leveled my pick also. So my pick is now reinforced 3, silky, auto repair, and it has a mining level of ardite with boosted XP, comfortable usage, and I have a new modifier available, as well as it now has moss on it. And I just picked up a whole bunch of nether rack, and we'll grab some quartz right quick. Oh, I'm too hungry to use vein miner. I did not realize I did not bring any food with me. That was not intelligent, ladies and gentlemen. But that's probably a good time to exit anyways. Let's bolt out of here. And yeah, that's it. That's a wrap. We have done what we came to do, boys and girls. We have entered the nether. We have done everything on my to-do list with the exception of making a blast furnace. And I now have all the materials that I should need to be able to make a blast furnace. I probably need to move that door out slightly. Do I have any food in here? Let's check these bags, see if there's any food in them. We got a new helmet. We got some new pants. And we got some apples. Yay, we're not dying anymore. Grab an apple. All right. I'm very happy with what we've got done, especially after how many times I've had to try to do it. But that's it from me, guys. Hopefully you learned some stuff. You saw some cool stuff. Maybe you'll give me some feedback on some ideas. As always, if you liked it, like it. If you'd like to see more like it, click that subscribe button. If you want notifications for when I am streaming live or when I upload a new video, click the little bell icon and you will receive said notifications. Either way, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think I'm doing well, what I could do a lot better. You know, what am I terrible at, things of that nature. And I will be happy to respond to you and, you know, accept your criticism or argue with you like a maniac. That's it for me. Let's look at what the best way to process these is going to be. I think I remember, but I want to make sure. Yeah, we're going to cook them down probably. That's going to give us dust. Induction smelter is good. Alloy smelter is good. Sag mill is very good. Okay. So we're not quite ready to process nether ores yet. That's going to be something coming down the line. But yeah, we're there. Thanks as always, guys. I'll see you next time. Laters.